We are in the Rushden archive, which is the archive for Penguin Random House. And this is where we keep all of our history, all of the books we've published, and all of the documents relating to our authors and our books. Here at Rushden we collect a copy of every single book we publish. In total there are about 1.2 million books. The oldest thing in the archive, we have a book from 1898, which is a book of really ancient jokes. And as far as I know, that's the oldest thing we have here.
One of my favourite things in the archive is this Egyptian Book of the Dead. I'm really into Egyptology, so when I realised we had this here, I was pretty excited about it. So what it would have been was, I think I've read somewhere before that it would have mainly been available to royalty, and what it is a book of spells, and it would have assisted the deceased on their way to the underworld.
Some of my favourite things that I've come across here are some of the quite old supernatural and occult books that we've got in our collection. So, for example, a book called Haunted London, published by Hurst and Blackett, and it's from 1865. This one I think is fantastic. It's deadly magic, including the Australian pointing stick.
So this is one of my favourite items. It's a letter by Thomas Hardy, and it's my favourite because I was just looking through a box one day and happened to find this amazing letter from one of the most famous authors, and I can just imagine him sitting there writing it many, many years ago, and it's just fantastic that we can have that sort of thing here and find it.
This one's my favourite. It's called Practical Time Travel, and the subtitle is How to Reach Back to Past Lives by Occult Means. And there's a note in here that says a compendium of occult quackery that took 5 years to sell 1,500 copies on no account reprint. And I just thought that was really funny, but it's fantastic that we have these kind of books here that we can have a look through, even if people didn't think they were worth reprinting.
My favourite item in the archive is the original manuscript of J.G. Ballard's novel Crash. I think it's probably his masterpiece. It's as dazzling and as uncomfortably relevant to read today as it must have been back in the early 70s.
We are a research centre, we are an inquiry centre. We also open to external researchers who want to have a look at our history and our cultural history.
Here at Rushden, we house some of the greatest works by some of the most illustrious and infamous authors of all time, who will continue to collect stories for many years to come and provide a home for the next generation of writers.